Hi, my name is Dr. Chike Akua, and I want to share a few concepts with you from my book, Honoring Our Ancestral Obligations. And those concepts are being centered and being decentered. One more time, being centered and being decentered. Now, if you look at this diagram here, you'll see a dot with a circle around it. The dot represents you, and the circle represents the community. One more time, the dot represents who? That's right, you. And the circle represents the community. Now, notice that the circle is in the center. This is very, very important. It's not off on the side. It's not off on the periphery. It's not outside the circle. It's where it's centered. All right? Now look at some of these different words that begin to emerge. You see, when we are centered in the best of our culture, we have access to this and so much more. Now, if you're watching this with a group right now, I'd like for you to pause and just go ahead and call out the different things that you want to exist in your life and in your community that you see on the screen. Go ahead, call them out. What is it that you want in your life? I can't hear you. Call it out right now. What is that? Love, joy, peace, prosperity, safety, security. All of these different things and more are available to us right now, as long as we stay what? Centered. Centered where? Centered in the best of our culture, okay? But watch what happens, because right over here, what we see is a magnet, and there are forces and factors in society that act as this magnet that attempt to draw us away from our cultural center, which is our place of power. And so whereas we used to have access to the love, the joy, the peace, the security, the prosperity, and all the wonderful things that come with that and more, we were centered. But now we've been decentered. And look at the different phenomena that begins to emerge once we become decentered. Call out some of the things that you see in your school. Call out some of the things that you see in your community that are on the screen right now. Yeah, see, that's what happens when we become decentered. So at any given moment, you have to ask yourself, am I being centered? Am I acting in a centered way? Are those around me acting in a centered way? And if they're not, am I allowing them to draw me into decentered thinking and decentered behavior? But it doesn't stop there, because it's one thing if I know that I've been decentered, then I can say, oh man, I need to get around the right people. I need to read the right books. I need to read my scriptures. I need to pray. I need to meditate. Any of those types of things can help you to get recentered. But guess what? What if you don't know that you're decentered? And what if you don't even know what the center is? So now take a look. Raise your hand. If you're watching this as a group, raise your hand if you know somebody that is so decentered that they have never been exposed to the center. And as a result, all they're doing is going around in circles in the midst of all kinds of decentered, self-destructive behavior. Well, brothers and sisters, that's why it's so important that if we've been decentered, we must be recentered. And watching videos like this, reading the right books, hanging around the right people is all part of the recentering process. Because some people have never been exposed to the best of our culture. They've only been exposed to the worst of our culture. And so I want you to commit yourself to always being centered. And if you see that you fall off center, make sure that you get recentered. My name is Dr. Chike Akua, and I look forward to speaking with you about these and other topics very soon.